your comments feed an interesting concept, is you have all this change. It is bottom up. The consumer is now entirely in control. At one point, newspapers had a 50% reach. They were in control, their opinion mattered. I was just flying back from Boston last week, and just as a quick little, I'm bored on a 6-hour flight, you know, I looked, there were 2 newspapers on the flight, mostly laptops, a lot of iPads, and 3 books. You know, and this is the evolution that we're dealing with Wi-Fi as we fly across the country.
Absolutely.
So that begs the question, now the consumer is in control. The consumer is the absolute person, and the incredible impact that that's having on the media, the incredible impact that's having on the advertiser. You know, old school, I used to buy a full-page ad. I've got 60 seconds. I'm going to talk to you about it on the radio, whether you want to hear it or not, right? but now this is all top down or bottom up, and what do you think, are the media really responding to this? They say they are. You know, newspapers are first to say, we're publishers. Terrestrial radio, oh, we're content providers. But do you think they really get it?
Once they get it personally, then they can get it, you know, for whatever it is that they're trying to represent. And so there's a key, right? You can read my book, and hopefully that helps you. But if you don't live it and breathe it yourself, you can't necessarily get it. You have to understand the dynamics of this. It's, again, very cultural, and you can't be immersive, right? For example, it goes back to the days of anthropology, right? You can field study, you know, a particular village from a distance, but unless you go tribal, you know, you don't necessarily understand what it's like to live in that culture. And this is something that we're at the cusp of figuring this out at the top-down level. We know that it's important. We say we might get it, but you know, look at journalism, right? Journalism, I think, lived and breathed, or let's just say media, because it might be a different beast, but media lived and breathed on being a destination. You know, people did get the newspaper, people did visit the .com, but now people are focused on their Twitter stream, or their Facebook news feed, or their you know, feed reader. That is the attention dashboard today. So we have to figure out how to get there in order to then inspire someone to come back and read, and then hopefully share it back into the stream. So we're going to have to connect where people's attention is focused. And if you think about even looking ahead in 2011 and 2012, the real key to all of this is to remember that you're not just trying to connect with eyeballs. You're trying to now connect with an audience who has an audience who has an audience. These individuals are now starting to build networks around themselves because it's contextual, because it's theme-based, and it goes beyond just the friends and family we used to connect with. So now it's not unlikely for people to have hundreds or even thousands of connections in some of these networks. And so now there's a responsibility that comes along with that. They feel like there's a sense of curation. They have to make sure that they're feeding their networks, just like any media property. And so how do you connect not with just an individual, but with an individual who feels this sense of responsibility to introduce value into their stream?